This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Swung on, drive to left field. Did he do it? He did! 4 home runs for Nick Kurtz! He is 6 for 6!
Swing and a drive, deep to left. The A's take the lead in grand fashion.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe from humidors to walk-off dingers.
That's swung at a high, deep drive to right. Smith is back. He will not even watch it. And the A's win it on a walk-off by Nick Kurtz.
We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, I hope you're ready for some A's baseball on the air starting tomorrow. That's right, it's the Athletics against the Chicago White Sox. Game 1 of spring training action right here on the A's Radio Network, KSTE, A's Cast. Ken Clarke, the Hall of Famer, and Johnny Dasco, also a Hall of Famer. 2 Hall of Famers on the call tomorrow. The White Sox, everybody is so fired up because you want to hear baseball for the first time. The Chicago White Sox are actually televising the game. It's going to be on TV back in Chicago, back in Illinois.
Well, they have a lot of
where the Chicago Bears supposedly are moving, and they're going to be the Indiana Bears. Yeah, I'll be back on the south side. South side, right?
South side.
Not the north or the south, not the north or the east or the west, south side of Chicago. So I know I am fired up. When is first pitch Pacific time tomorrow? Because obviously we are not in the Pacific time zone as we speak.
12:05.
12:05 first pitch. Ken Clarke, Johnny Dasco, getting you ready for Athletics baseball. Going to be fantastic. Steve Fanelli, vice president of sales for the Athletics, is going to stop by. So we're going to talk about tickets for spring training. We're going to talk about tickets for March, Big League Weekend in Vegas. And then we're going to talk about tickets in June when we're going to take on the Rockies and the Milwaukee Brewers at the Aviators Ballpark, where real games, 6 official Major League Baseball games in Las Vegas, how you can get tickets, and there's going to be giveaways. Every one of those games is going to have a major giveaway, plus opening day in Sacramento, you name it. We will go over all of that coming up right here on A's Cast Live. We got a big show for you. Brent Rooker is going to stop by, as we've been waiting to have Rook on the program. We're going to, who else are we going to have?
We have Tyler Soderstrom, the newly signed left fielder, Gold Glove finalist. Tyler Soderstrom will be here.
Everybody keeps talking about how great his Maui wedding was this offseason.
It feels like from everyone we talked to, it feels like every player that's in the organization on the big league roster was at this wedding.
And it sounds like they tore it up in Maui. They had a good time. Everybody let loose, because we've been asking this question. You know, what's the best thing that happened to you? Coolest thing that happened to you, non-baseball this offseason? And if you're not one of the guys that had a child, got married, or got engaged, a lot of guys are like, oh, yeah, Tyler Soderstrom's wedding in Maui. I mean, because obviously going to Maui is awesome. But now when you go with, I mean, think about a trip to Maui with all of your buddies. You know, usually you go family. You may go to Hawaii with another family. This is going to Maui to party with your boys. And it just happens to be Tyler Soderstrom's wedding. I can just imagine what that was like.
Well, we had half our roster got married or had kids this offseason, it seems like. So
it's like half the organization was at Tyler's wedding. Can you imagine what that wedding cost?
Boy. Ooh. Well, he has all that money now, so he
well, he hadn't signed yet.
Well, he can pay it off now.
He can pay for it now, but he hadn't signed for that. But no, it's
as someone that's been married twice, I know how much weddings cost. So,
all right, so
too soon.
Go through it. So
Tyler Soderstrom will have Max Muncy, who's battling for the third base job. Jeffrey Springs, one of the A's starting pitchers. Mm-hmm. New A's reliever and great hair, lettuce, as they say, Scott Barlow, and as you mentioned, Steve Fanelli, the Senior Vice President of Business Operations for the Athletics.
I go real in depth with Scott Barlow. You want to talk about my journalism degree? I'm going to show it off today here on A's Cast Live. I'm going to go into how he takes care of his hair, how many times he cuts his hair. Is that Chris Caray walking around the background just trying? All right, Chris, come over for at least a second. Just come here. Put the headset on. My God, Chris Carey's been begging to get on the show. Why don't you invite me on the show? Why am I not on the air? I'm a TV star. All right, Chris, you're making it in the first 3 days. Normally, we save it for important people who actually do stuff down here at spring training. Since you have done absolutely nothing since the team has come to camp. Except you went to a photo shoot today with NBC where Dallas Braden and I literally had to be there for 2 hours. You and Jenny showed up for like 5 minutes. Hi.
I mean,
you literally are walking in the background of the show. Like, he's asking me, when am I coming on? I'm like, I don't think the first 3 days is really going to be. It's going to be for players.
You're playing it down for the cameras now. You're making yourself look sweeter than you are. You know what you said to me? You said you're like a week 4 or 5 pick.
Tier 4.
It doesn't make it hurt any less, folks. It doesn't make it hurt any less.
The first 3 days are supposed to be our tier 1 guest. You and Johnny are kind of like Clarke's tier 2.
Correct's tier 2. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about being in tier 4.
Well, tier 1's players.
Yes.
Right? The manager, the GM. Yeah, but I saw you because I can see us in the camera, and you're literally walking behind screaming, please put me on.
I don't think that I think I said that pre-show. I didn't say that. I was talking to Road Trip Mike. We were talking about how great a guy you were, and now I want to take all that back.
All right, so what are your opening impressions being around other than the photo shoot today?
You guys did work hard. You were there for 2 hours.
I was actually really good.
You were.
Yeah, I think people are going to enjoy some of the funny things we did today if NBC ever cuts it up and actually airs it.
I think that you have some acting chops. Don't you think?
I understand the entertainment business. I think you can say that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good with the players, stuff like that. I mean, from the shoot, I was there for all of about 10 minutes. I got did the whole get up. I brought 2 different coats. I brought ties. I brought everything because I wanted to look good.
And they literally said, get up there with Jenny, snap, snap, snap. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Pretty much. Yeah. But in terms of the camp, I think I was here, before everyone else because, I don't know if you can deduce it as I care more about the team or my job or getting here early and making sure, I'm seen and internalizing things. Even when it's a little slower, people show up for the first week when all the players report and all the fans are here for the autographs and the pictures, like you. But I got here the first day of pitchers and catchers reporting and everybody was here. GM, the coaches, the pitchers, the position players, almost every single position player was here about 10 days before pitchers and catchers reported. And you could tell that there's like a really positive energy. They're really excited about what this team is going to be able to do in 2026. Like the offense is firing on all cylinders. You have more depth than you thought. And the early impressions are, I don't know what this team is going to look like when it comes out of camp. I think the infield's pretty stacked. I think you can kind of predict what the starting 9 is going to look like with Severino on the mound. But outside of that, things could be a little different because there's a lot of young talent that's not far away that's coming up. And also some guys that were some minor league free agents, some guys that you've signed to minor league deals or split contracts or whatever you call them that might have a chance to make this bullpen. The bullpen could look entirely different than it ended last year.
Okay, this is going to be, how do you fluster a TV guy who just wants to be positive about everything? Give me one major criticism you've seen so far.
I didn't see you wear a coat today. Oh, and you lost your shoes. It seems like you're losing your edge.
Oh, no, it's not about me. I want you to one thing that you're going to criticize that you're worried about. Are you able to even do that?
Sure.
Okay.
I think that there are a lot of outfielders and a lot of guys in camp. And my question is, how are they going to be able to get a good extended look at all of them? And from an outfielder's perspective, when you see guys like Cortez here and a lot of the young guys like Bolte and Colby Thomas, you might have to end up Perez. You might have to end up stockpiling a lot of them back in AAA or maybe even all the way back to AA because of how much depth you have. And then that leads to the question of how are you going to find ways to play guys that are clearly major league ready at the major league level in 2026 should everyone stay healthy. Now, we know.
Are you saying we have too much talent? Can an organization have too much talent?
I talked to Dave Stewart about that, and he said you can never have too much talent, and it just seems to be the case this year. Talking to him, and you asked him a great question on A's Cast about, his whole audit of the organization years ago and how it, is different this year and how it's leaps and bounds better.
Let me set that up real quick. A lot of people don't know, and I'm just lucky for the years where I would do TV with Dave Stewart, and we'd sit there and watch the game, and we'd be around each other for hours and got to really know him. And, he's a friend, and I love the man. But he told me about how he was asked by somebody in the organization to basically go over the entire, because Stu's been a GM, he's been assistant GM, he's been a farm director. So to go over the entire organization and the talent. And he did that, and he didn't have a great grade for us. And then now you look at it, and I asked him, and he goes, system is a humming. We have one of the best systems in the game.
And you knew the right person to ask that question too. Not to give you your kudos, but it was a really good question in the sense of someone who understands organizations and has had success as a leader of an organization, has had some struggles, as a GM, as a coach, this is a Hall of Fame player and a guy who is a brilliant baseball mind. He's going to tell it to you straight. And when he says that a team of this caliber, when he has in the past been a little bit more, reserved about answering questions about the team, and now he is very effusive about how good this team looks, it's a really, really good sign. But no, you can never have too much talent. I just worry about how they're going to get a look at these guys and how some of these guys will fit into the plans, because a lot of these guys are young and under team control for a number of years. How are you going to be able to get creative, especially considering things like a player of Tyler Soderstrom's caliber? Well, he started last year as a catcher and first baseman. Then Kurtz came, you moved him to left field. That's just yet another outfielder. And now he's your left fielder for the future.
It's sad. I have none. I haven't seen one criticism. I think everything's perfect. I didn't realize you're going to be that critical about your own organization.
Little gotcha journalism. Well, it was. I don't even know.
I'm very happy about it.
I don't even know if it's critical. I don't know if it's critical.
Now he's backtracking.
I think it's a fair question to ask. How will they be able to look at the depth? The guys leaving the WBC and all of that.
Here's kind of the problem with that theory, and it's sad, but people get hurt.
Right.
So it's like whenever you think you have too much talent, somebody, whether it's pitching, whether it's usually, it can happen in the infield when you start stockpiling a bunch of shortstops and what are we going to do with them? But with outfield and stuff, people start to get hurt and it usually works itself out. Yeah. The WBC, I hate it because there is a track record of guys getting heated up at this point. And then they go out and they're all in, man. Because when you get in there and you're fighting for your country, and especially pitchers, you're out there on the mound and it's March and you're letting it rock and you're throwing like it's Game 7 of the World Series. We have seen guys after the WBC have like career bad years after the WBC. So it always scares me. Like we talked with David Force yesterday. I would like to put Denzel Clarke in bubble wrap. Right. And when he goes to the WBC, he's out there in the outfield. So if he runs into the wall, he's got bubble wrap on. I mean, obviously Severino's going to play a huge factor in how good the A's are going to be this year from amount of got to get a ton of innings from him. He says he wants 200. Oh my God, that would be great. I mean, I actually got to talk to a couple of guys today as they waited in this line. And I was kind of like sitting there for the photo shoot for NBC. I got to talk to Sevy, and what an honor it is for him to pitch for the Dominican Republic. He has never pitched in the Dominican Republic as a professional. So a lot of his family members are going to see him pitch in the DR for the first time. Going to be really special.
Well, it's a huge deal for these international guys. I mean, Daryl Hernandez representing Puerto Rico. And I think you look back, and the more I look at this question, conversely speaking, you can look at this team, and guys are going to get opportunities right away that might not have gotten a chance should the World Baseball Classic been another year. Guys like Junior Perez, guys like, when you have outfielders and infielders that are moving around, you will get a little bit of a look early. It's just as the roster begins to take shape, then because of the oddity that is the World Baseball Classic, you might see more of what the actual opening day roster will look like towards the middle or the end of spring training, which sometimes at the very beginning of spring training, I remember last year, pretty much the roster and the lineup they rolled out the first game, I believe it was in Peoria against San Diego, was essentially what was the opening day lineup.
When you are national and you're doing the World Series and you're doing the ALCS and NLCS, and we need to get this. Are you recording, Cody? Will you pick up the phone and still come on the show?
I will. Hopefully by then I'll be a tier 3 guest.
Will you pick up the phone? Because I have a feeling it'll be like, oh, yeah. We'll text Caray. Yeah, he's doing the World Series. Man, Cody hasn't gotten back to us.
I will always get back to you, Towny. You always have a way to pull at my heartstrings.
I think it's 50-50. Once your stardom really hits, it's going to be interesting to see how you treat us little people.
I feel like you'll have there will be just a little bit of you. If I league you a little bit, there will be anger, but there will also be a little
going
bit
to big league.
But there will also be a little bit.
You are going to big league, no doubt.
You will also be kind of proud of it.
You're going to be like looking at us like, wait, pre and post? Those are just pre and post guys?
Well, it's more than that. It's global. This is the pre to the pre. Like nobody works harder in baseball in this space than you two do. I was explaining to my mom in the offseason what your workload looked like last year. And she's like, so one guy does that? And yeah, of course we have got the great A's Cast team, but that's why I felt like at the end of the year it was so great to take some phone calls with you and all that stuff, though I kind of, took over a little bit, but it's been a lot of fun. And I don't think that I'll ever league you, Chris Townsend, or anybody on this team, because you guys are the first people I've gotten to work with.
Will you please play the soundbite?
Makes me want to puke.
Thank you. All right, we're going to hold you to it. So when you're a big network star,
got to get there first.
I mean, you could be doing NFL, you could be doing World Series. You promise to remember us.
Pinky promise. I promise.
You ready for a good year?
I'm ready. It's been a little nice off season, but this is going to be a special year. And I think that, it could have been a really special year last year if it wasn't for, the month of May and then early June. If that doesn't happen, and broken record, we talk about it all the time. If that doesn't happen, we may be having a different conversation about this team entirely, about where they may position themselves in 2026. Because they're similar conversations, I think. The expectation is still very high in 2026, even higher considering the talent that we have and who has been able to have breakout performances in 2025. But had that month of May not happened, the A's could have snuck into a wild card spot.
I always love when we talk about that. Like, if that didn't happen, like if I was 6'4", I would have been a first-round draft pick.
No, you actually would have been a tier 4 guest.
But I'm not 6'4", and the A's did lose 20 of 21.
You are not.
It's called reality.
You are not 6'4", but what you lack in stature, you absolutely 100% make up for in personality and warmth.
You are a very talented young man, Chris Caray, and you were going to be, as I said after the first interview I did with you, I knew nothing about you. I just knew this twin thing and the family thing. But after the first time I interviewed, what did I say?
You said that I was going to be a national guy before shaking my hand.
I said that's why I'm like, this kid's going to be a star.
Show business is what you're about.
I'm just going to tell you this. Mark my words.
That's good stuff, Towny.
If you big league me, I will send Road Trip Mike after you. And that is something you do not want.
You think Road Trip Mike's still going to be with you? And when I get big, he's coming with me.
We're going to trap you.
He's part of the custody battle.
We're going to trap you in that van, and it's going to be your worst nightmare. So you better pick up the damn phone when I call.
By that point in time, Mike's going to have his own
that's my
placard
promise.
In the A's Hall of Fame. He's going to be way beyond it, and he's going to be traveling with me, doing 5 events a year, and then he'll come hang out with you.
5 events.
Get your facts straight.
I do the Super Bowl. I do the World Series and the NBA Finals.
Oh no, I like baseball too. I can't do the other sports. This is it.
Oh,
for
you'll
me.
do them. Are you ready for Brent Rooker?
Yes.
You ready for Brent Rooker? played in all 162 last year.
Tier 1.
You only do 81. He did 162.
111.
Here is Brent Rooker.
Brent Rooker with us here on A's Cast Live. We appreciate you stopping by. And how you feeling going into camp?
Feel great. First week's been good, productive at everybody. So I'm looking forward to getting games rolling tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw you doing some BP against Live Arms, and you looked locked in, ready to rock.
I felt great. First few days of lives are always a little interesting, but I felt comfortable, felt like I was on time, so it's kind of all I can ask for this early on.
Last year, you played in all 162. I know that was a goal. When you thought about it in the offseason, reflect on it, just how really big was that to post in every single game?
Yeah, it's something I'm proud of. Obviously, it was something that wasn't a goal until kind of we got later into the season. Then I saw that, I've already played in all 130, whatever. Might as well try to finish it off. Not quite the same with obviously not playing defense all that often, but the mental grind is still there for me.
Yeah.
That was kind of the bigger thing, is overcoming those days where you've been struggling and it'd be pretty easy to kind of back off and take a day to kind of mentally reset, but sticking it out and staying in there and kind of grinding through those times. So hopefully we can do it again.
It's really, really hard. People don't understand. Throughout 6+ months of baseball plus spring training, there's times where you're hurting. I mean, you really just got to suck it up if you're going to play 162. It's really hard.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely days that you're you got something aching, something's tight, something doesn't feel right, but as long as you feel like it doesn't affect your ability to go out there and perform at a high level, I think it's worth it to grind it out and get out there.
The biggest thing this offseason has been a lot of the young guys inking up and signing to be here for a long time. You were the catalyst. You were the first one to say, I want to be here. I want to take this into Vegas. How happy are you now when you see, we've talked about Lawrence Butler, but now to see Wilson and Soderstrom, when you saw them ink up the deals, how'd that feel to you?
Yeah, I'm thrilled for those guys as individuals, first and foremost. Being able to take care of themselves and their family like that is always super exciting. It's a reward for a lot of hard work and a lot of perseverance to get what they're at. And then selfishly, I love the fact that they're going to be playing with me for the next several years. They're really good players. They're really good guys to be around. So that we have kind of a group that's locked down and kind of know what it's going to look like for the next several years is exciting for everybody.
And how much does it mean that these young guys are saying that they want to be together for a long time? The crew is really committing to the crew.
Yeah, it speaks to our culture. It speaks to the environment we create at work every day, whether it's spring training or in the regular season. It's a fun place to come play baseball. It's a fun place to come hang out and spend time with each other. And you're kind of seeing that being proven by guys choosing to stay here long term.
Now, obviously, you're the leader in the clubhouse, and you had to give some tough speeches last year. There was some real tough time in May. How much are you looking forward to not having to hopefully do that this year and watch this team really compete for the West?
Yeah, that time in May was, I think we're going to look back on it and see it as a necessary thing for us to go through with how young we were, with kind of the makeup of our team and how the young guys got to experience something like that. No, they don't want to do it again. They know how to stay out of it. We know how to better overcome it quicker. So we think it's going to be, it wasn't fun, obviously, but we do think it's going to end up being a net positive for our group learning how to deal with it.
All right, I've been asking everybody this one thing, non-baseball. What's the coolest thing that happened to you or that you did this offseason that had nothing to do with baseball?
It's like a little bit to do with baseball. We were able to take a trip to Hawaii for Tyler Soderstrom's wedding, and we got to hang out with a bunch of teammates and friends there in obviously a non-baseball setting during the off season. Everybody's relaxed, just having a good time. So that was a really fun trip for us to be able to go on.
Yeah, it doesn't suck going to Hawaii.
Right, it's beautiful.
Do you got the kids, the girls here for spring training?
They are not here right now. They'll be here next week. They'll be back and forth kind of until towards the end of Blair's school year when they'll move back to SAC, but they'll be back and forth between now and then, so they'll be here next week.
It all changes when they start going to school.
Gets a little tougher. It's a little tougher on mom. My role stays the same, but the travel gets a little more complicated. So.
Well, we always appreciate the time you give us throughout the season. Obviously, we look forward to seeing you have another big year and leading this franchise, hopefully into the playoffs. Stay healthy, and we'll see you back in Sacramento.
Sounds good. Thanks, Towny.
He's a pro's pro, and if you said who is the captain of the Athletics, it's real easy.
Yeah, Brent Rooker.
It's Brent Rooker.
Two-time All-Star, Silver Slugger winner.
And he's a guy that, as he said to us, one of his jobs is to show this young group how to conduct itself long-term so that someday they will take that mantle, right? And he's very humble about that. But it is true, right? He understands. He's been in the game long enough. He's played with a lot of good players. He understands his role. His role is to teach the next generation, so when they're winning World Series, and hopefully he's on the team. But if it's longer than that, they'll all look back and go, hey, man, Brent Rooker was, he was the guy that stood up when we lost 20-21. He was the guy that held us together. He's turned into a terrific professional. There is no question about it. All right, his next home run. Tell us, Cody.
I did this for when we talked to Rook last month in Sacramento, but that show was so fast-paced movement, we didn't get a chance to really get into it. But his next home run will be his 100th with the organization. That will be he would be the 5th fastest player in franchise history to reach 100 home runs as an Athletic. Only Chris Davis, Mark McGwire, Matt Olson, and Gus Zernial have done it faster than Brent Rooker. He would be the 30th player ever to do it in franchise history, and he's only the 3rd right-handed hitter over the last 3 years to have 30 home runs each season. Can you name the other 2?
That what? Wait, I'm trying to figure out who's Gus Zernial. When did he
Philadelphia.
Play? Is he Philadelphia? Yeah. All right.
So he's one of only 3 right-handed hitters the past 3 seasons that have 30 or more home runs each season. Who are the other 2?
In A's history?
No, in Major League Baseball.
Okay, now I'm really – wait, what? Because I'm looking at your list.
Right-handed hitters last 3 seasons that have 30 home runs each year.
Oh,
right-handed.
It's got to be Judge and Polar Bear.
There you go.
By the way, we hit the first home run of spring training?
Polar Bear.
The Polar Bear.
As an Oriole, not a Met. As an Oriole.
So this list, I'm looking at this list. Fastest to 100 is Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Over Mark McGwire, Matt Olson. Remember Matt Olson hit. Matt Olson had the one year he was like on a Babe Ruth-like pace. I have no idea who Gus Zernial is, but to his family, he actually – wait, go back.
I was going to say how many games Rookers have actually played. I forgot to put the number of how many games he's played in. Here we go.
So how many games has he done it in?
I'm looking at right now, see how many games.
So if he homers on opening day.
Yeah, Rooker's played in 444 games with the Athletics.
Go back to your list.
So he would be, that's why he'd be faster.
He'd be faster than Dave Kingman and Jose Canseco. Remember, Canseco broke his hamate bone, though.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the thing. Our organization is so incredible that when you do things, you're getting compared to the greatness of the Philadelphia Athletics and those Hall of Famers. You're getting compared to the greatness of the Oakland A's of 72, 73, 74, the late 80s teams into 90, where they went to 3 straight World Series in Oakland. I can't say much about the Kansas City Athletics.
Well, there's no Kansas City A's on the list.
Even though my grandfather managed the 1960 Athletics. But hopefully we'll do something in Sacramento, and, we'll have greatness in Las Vegas. But when you get compared to the teams in the 30s, well, Bob Costas on MLB Network had his greatest teams ever. I'm guessing here. Was it 36 or 37 Philadelphia Athletics were top 5?
Yeah, they're top 5, yeah.
Was it 36?
Yes, because it was them in the 89 days.
And then we know number 10 was the 1989 Athletics.
Yeah.
So one team in Kansas City, one team in Oakland.
The rest were all like Yankees. And then he put like entire generations of the Cardinals.
Not in the top 10. They were the alternate.
The 80s Cardinals. So.
He had the 1998 New York Yankees, which I hard to debate against.
Yeah, they were number 1.
They were a machine. What do we have next?
You want to do Soderstrom next?
Tyler Soderstrom, by the way, is going to have a monster year. And he joins us next right here on A's Cast Live.
Baseball is back, and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snap. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today. Tyler Soderstrom joined Chris Townsend to talk about his breakout 2025 season, his new 7-year contract extension, and his commitment to the future of the Athletics.
There was some conversation right at the end of the season last year with what they were planning to come to us with. So we had a good idea. I knew that they were going to come to us with something in November, and, they came with their first offer. Everything is a negotiating process. So there was that whole process. My agent, Garrett Parcell, did a great job at Paragon Sports of, kind of let me and my wife and my family just kind of sit back and, let them kind of handle all of the whole process of it. And, we ended up coming to terms. So it was something that I wanted to do. I love this organization. I got drafted by them. my relationships that I've built. I mean, that's what's important to me. So I'm just excited, to be here for the long term. And, yeah, like I said, just super blessed.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast. Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas. The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, starting on February 22nd, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends. Grab your tickets early for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring. Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 A's season tickets in Las Vegas for just $19.01, honoring the franchise's 1901 founding year. Join the list for early ticket opportunities and support youth baseball and softball in Southern Nevada. Visit athletics.com/Vegas.
Streaming from A's Spring Training, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
I can tell you that this morning, when they talk about being a cage whisperer and the guy that hangs around the cage and you can learn a lot from the conversations.
I heard that term a lot before.
That was basically me outside the tent as we were doing a bunch of photos and videos today, super early. So every guy had to show up and be in line. And I was doing certain things with certain players. So I got to sit there and just BS with guys, whether they liked it or not. I was like at the front of the tent. Most guys, like, hey, Towny, what's going on? And so I just started talking guys. At some point, I want to tell you a little bit about my conversation with Jeff McNeil.
Oh.
Yeah, really good.
Our new friend.
My new friend. I'm hoping he'll be my new friend because he's a really good golfer, and I'm sure he's got better connections than I do.
Well, now he knows what A's Cast is after he didn't know at first. But now
that's where I got the Severino stuff about he's never played in the DR. And so I talked to Severino today. I got to talk to Kurtz today, Butler, Jay Willie, everybody that came down. Saw Sody, got to talk to him a little bit. But the number one thing, I had suspicions about Jeff McNeil. I talked a little bit about yesterday. I'm going to back those up as he confirmed it today. That's why I think he's going to be big for us. I think Jeff McNeil, you might be saying now, going, Towny, you might be overselling it. All right, you wait. You wait after a couple months, and this guy's hitting well over 300 and looks revitalized. You're going to be like, man, he called that. I think Jeff McNeil being, and, I'll explain why. Tyler Soderstrom. You can't overstate this. Just like with Lawrence Butler, when you're drafted by the Athletics and you start at the bottom and you work your way up, everybody in the organization at some point touches a part of your career. Everybody. All the coaches. And if you know anything about the Athletics, we're loyal to the soil. I mean, everybody in this organization, most people have been here forever. So all the way up, these coaches all know these kids. And you travel with them on buses and, the hotels and eat with them. And then by the time they get to the big leagues, everybody has been a part of your career. So Lawrence Butler and Tyler Soderstrom, I mean, they're best friends because they grew up together in this organization riding around those buses. They mean a lot to each other, right? And Tyler makes it to the big leagues, right? Up, down, catcher. All of a sudden it's like, get him out of catcher, right? And then that finally happens. And we were all cool with him playing first base. And we were pushing for it, right? Here on A's Cast Live, we were like, put him at first, put him somewhere. get him outside of catcher. We just didn't know Nick Kurtz was coming. And then it was like, uh-oh, now we got to move him again. He got off to a great start last year at first base, and then he was asked to move. And it tells you all you need to know about how he was raised by his father, Steve, former first-round pick out of Fresno State, finally made it to the San Francisco Giants, and has had his baseball school and coaching for so long. A son of a former big leaguer and a guy that's been a coach. You know he was raised right. And Tyler was like, wherever you need me, I will go. And we kept asking him on this show, hey, how athletic are you, Tyler? Where can you play? And he's like, I can play shortstop, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Because we were thinking third base. Tyler is unselfish. He did what's best for the team. And when your best young players, because this doesn't happen everywhere. You know how many good young players would have said, I'm calling my agent, and the agent then is calling the GM. You can't move my guy. We are in a game full of selfish people. Professional sports is littered with selfish individuals who care only about themselves and money. And they lie about being team. They lie about that stuff. And that doesn't really play inside that clubhouse. Tyler said, I'll do whatever you need, Mark Kotze. And he went out to left field, and he was a Gold Glove finalist, which is really mind-blowing. But what he is going to be, an offensive guy this year, I'm not going to be shocked if he's representing the Athletics in the All-Star game. I'm not going to be shocked if he has over 100 RBIs this year. I'm not going to be shocked if he's winning the Gold Glove. Tyler Soderstrom is about to become a big-time player in our game, and he now has that contract. So, like the other guys, doesn't have to worry about the money, doesn't have to focus on it. I don't think Tyler would anyway. That's not really how he rolls. He's just a soft-spoken, and some people don't like it, right? Because some people think like, oh, he doesn't care. That's not true. It's just he's one of those guys. Opposites attract, right? Lawrence's personality. The minute Lawrence Butler with that beautiful smile comes walking in, Lawrence Butler lights up the room immediately. Tyler Soderstrom's not that guy. Well, that's why they're best buddies, because opposites attract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to have another big year and continue. Tyler Soderstrom's going to have a long, productive career. He showed you last year. You look at the numbers, and it's like, wow. And how young he is, what he's about to go on. He's not even in his prime yet. He's going to be special. Here is the Athletics left fielder.
Soderstrom with us here on A's Cast, and this spring training has to be a little bit different for you coming in. We last saw you at the ballpark experience, signing the contract, which was obviously great for you and your family. How's it a little bit different, though, coming this time to spring training?
Yeah, it's my first spring as now the catcher. So first time reporting with the position player group, and it's been good. I got time to focus on offense, and defense is obviously a priority. But as I'm not doing the catching stuff, I find I have some more time to work on my craft. So it's been good.
I forgot about that. How nice is it not to have gear?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's been fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a little different this spring, obviously, but I've been enjoying it. So
I mean, the transition to left field. I mean, you started first base, you went to left field. The transition was so good. I mean, you ended up as a finalist for the Gold Glove. Do you ever think back at that and go, "Wow"?
Yeah, I use it as motivation too. I want to win a Gold Glove out there. So yeah, it's pretty surreal. I didn't expect it going into it, but as I continued to play, and I felt really good out there. I felt athletic. I was making good plays, and kind of want to build off that. I'm excited to get a full season out there and see what I can do.
I remember we had fun with it. We're like, where could you play other than catcher? We talked about shortstop, and we had a good time. Yeah. To think that we're now talking about left field and a Gold Glove, not something we would have thought of when you went there. Why did it feel so natural?
I don't know. I think just growing up, I played multiple positions, played basketball in high school. So I think I've always been a pretty versatile, athletic guy. Yeah. Came into pro ball as a catcher. I think I kind of lost some athleticism just doing catching stuff all the time for the first couple of years. You're down in squat a lot, so kind of didn't have, I would say, all my legs underneath me, but I can focus on getting faster now and running balls down. So it's been good. I'm just ready to go out there and showcase what I can do.
Offensively, what was the big thing you worked on at home for this season?
I think just consistency, going into an off season, kind of knowing what I want to do, what works for me, and just kind of continue to build off my process. So yeah, just kind of knowing what works and just continuing to be as consistent as I can.
When you look back on 2025, what do you think it is, or when was it really that it just clicked and you knew, okay, I got this?
Yeah, I think it's just the comfortability in the box. Just being able to, I feel like control the at bat sometimes. You kind of get that feeling like, all right, I'm in control. My swing feels good. I'm seeing the ball good. I'm taking the right pitches. I think when I started to do that, and then the results started to come after that, I knew that, this is what works for me.
When you look inside the clubhouse coming in to this spring training, just how different. Everybody's a little older. Everybody's a little bit more mature. You have a lot better arms, it looks like, with the pitching staff. What has it been like coming into the clubhouse for this spring training?
Yeah, it's been good. I think this is definitely a spring that feels different to me so far, just personally. Just kind of being around the guys. Got added a lot of good pieces in the bullpen starting, and then obviously some veteran guys on the position side. But yeah, just looking forward to continuing with this group. I think honestly, like, to me, it feels like, it feels pretty similar. Just, I've been with these guys for a while now,
yeah.
So I think just continuing to build with those young group of guys that we have, just keep playing together, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we just talked to Jacob Wilson about this. When you sign the extension, yes, it is to be with the organization, but one of the reasons why you sign it is how close you are with Lawrence Butler, how close you are with these guys. You're signing to be with these guys. Talk about that, how important that is to you.
Yeah, super important. It's a big reason why I did it. I love the group of guys, love the staff, love me. I love everyone in the organization.
Yeah.
They've been so good to me. So just means a lot that they were able to get this done, and I'm just super excited for what's next.
Is it fun, the fact that you get to come and now you don't think about arbitration, you don't think about that stuff anymore? Now you can just concentrate and think about baseball.
Yeah, I just want to focus on winning. We want to win this year. The move to Vegas is coming, but we're focused on the next years and SAC and getting to the postseason this year. That's the main focus. So yeah, it's been fun.
I was out there when we checked out the new ballpark and you were taking the pictures. Just let the fans know how great that was. Seeing kind of home plate, seeing what is already built behind home plate. You were taking pictures up there, which would be the main course. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a one-of-one. It's the only sporting venue that's actually on the Strip. The Raiders are there, and the hockey team and the Aces too. But we're the only team that's right on the Strip, so it's gonna be amazing.
Now, I've been asking everybody this one question: what's the coolest thing that happened to you this off season? And you can't say baseball, but this is very unique with your new wife right here to the left. I think you have to answer a certain way. Not baseball. What was the coolest thing that happened to you this off season?
I got married to my wife Bailey, who's standing right here with my dog Bogey. So love her to death. Been together since about 7th grade. So pretty cool off season for me.
Now, you had Bogey. We're doing all the different, get you guys in a tent, and there's all the music, and they're taking pictures. How did Bogey do with all the production and everything?
He was just laying down, sleeping,
That was it?
I got him trained real good.
The emotional support dog, according to your wife. Hey, as you know, means a lot. Always when you come on, it's going to be a big year for you. Stay healthy, and we'll see you in Sacramento.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
What was the total? 93, 94 RBIs?
It was 93 RBIs last year. So he, in 158 games, he hit 25 homers, drove in 93. And remember, he had the hot start in March and April. So that's a pretty good year. Hit 276.
What do you have, an 820?
820 OPS.
820 OPS? Come on, he posted. We had guys who posted. Rooker 162, Sody 158. Gentlemen, that's how you have a big league career.
We had 5 guys hit over 20 homers, right?
Well,
Kurtz, Rooker, Soderstrom,
Butler,
and didn't we have one more? Or was it 4?
No.
Oh, Langoliers.
So if you want to be like
3 guys at 30.
If you want to be a guy that people look back and go, yeah, that guy was legit, the only way you put up numbers is you have to play. Our sport, in the end, people love to look at your numbers. Did you have X amount of home runs, X amount of RBIs, whatever you want to look at? You want to have those numbers, and you want to be in the A's Hall of Fame. Saying the Baseball Hall of Fame, that's just such a different world. But you want to be looked at You got to play. Like in today's world where everybody's trying to find a way to have players not play, this is something, and it kind of comes with this whole collective bargaining agreement war we're going to have. You guys can say everything you want about, well, it's what the past did for us, but I want everybody to remember, you had a bunch of guys who lost a part of their career when we only played 60 games during 2020 COVID. And now, if people are talking about losing games and it's about money, you know what? Let me tell you something. You don't take the money to the grave. And yeah, you say, I want to take care of my family. You don't take that money to the grave. You got one shot to play in Major League Baseball. You got one shot, as guys learned in the 80s in the NFL, when the NFL said, oh, really? You're not going to play? Oh, really? We'll play with the scabs. And they did, and they broke that union. Those guys lost parts of their NFL career. It's happened in the NBA. I'm saying you only get one shot to have a career and play in as many games as you possibly can. And when it's over, what's the first thing these guys talk about? They don't talk about the money. They go, oh, my God, I miss it. I miss the clubhouse. I miss the guys. I would do anything to get that back. Well, back when you were playing, you remember how many games you wanted to take off? And yeah, you got it. You need to appreciate it. You need to understand that what you have right now in your life as a young man is precious. Precious. Time is precious. And these guys don't realize it because we are all young and dumb at some point, and that's where some of them are. You will not play forever. And you're going to wake up one day, and there is no spring training. There is no games. And I don't want to get too much into it, but you find a lot of ball players, you find a lot of professional athletes go through a lot of depression when their career's over because they don't know what to do because they're young men, and what do I do with my life? Great, I got all this money. Well, I wake up every day. What's my purpose? When people don't have purpose, it's really hard. So right now, they're going to fight for all this money, and all they care about is money. Gentlemen, you do not want to lose games because this is your career. This is what you got. And nothing's going to scratch that itch ever again like this. You will never have that adrenaline rush ever again in your life like this. There's nothing that replaces it. There'll be nothing that replaces playing in the NFL, the NBA, hockey, golf, tennis, whatever you do as a professional athlete. When it's over, man, you search, and you search. And that's why we see a lot of problems with depression. We see a lot of problem with addiction because they can't scratch that itch. And when I hear these guys talking about, we'll fight till the end, I'm like, man, any game you lose, you regret later on in life. I wish I could help, but you do not want to lose that. And when you got a guy like Brent Rooker said, man, I looked up and we were at 100. I was at 100. Yeah, I'm going to play all 162. You're damn right. Means something to post. No matter what your overall numbers are in the end, to be able to say, I showed up every single day. And that means a lot. Because we used to say back of the baseball card. When I hear that now, I laugh.
Well, don't say used to. People still use that one. We don't, but
we don't.
Others use that.
But when someday when people are looking at, I don't know if it'll be Baseball Reference. I don't know what it'll be like. But someday, Brent Rooker's kids are going to look at that, and they're going to go, my daddy, he showed up. Look at that, 162 games. My daddy was a player. Tyler Soderstrom, player. Reliable. The best availability is what?
Availability. Low New used to always tell me that.
Warren Sapp used to always say that to Raider Vito. That is true, right? Who do you want? I want the guy who plays every day. Who's the guy you don't want? Oh, well, he played in 120 games. He's hurt.
Anybody that plays
out of here.
Anybody that plays in the NBA.
Yeah. The NBA guys. They literally don't want to play. They don't want to play. To where you hear Michael Jordan talk about that, like it disgusts him.
Well, now they're putting an anti-tanking rules going into next year.
I mean, it's like pathetic. They don't want to play. You're a professional athlete and don't want to play. And by the way, one of the sports who has one of the biggest issues with depression, addiction, and loss of money when guys are done playing is
The NFL?
the NBA.
Well, yeah, that too.
NFL guys don't make what NBA guys make.
Not now. Well, those TV contracts.
Well, they never have. Come on. People forget there's a lot of guys on an NFL roster.
That's
Very little on NBA. NBA guys make so much money, they blow it, and their lives are just like, oh, man, embrace what you got. You got to play. You should be dying to get on the field. You should, because when it's all over, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it more than anything. And I hope you all find happiness when your career's over, but it's very hard because, man, that adrenaline rush like no other. Do we have time for another one?
We have time for
we're trying to get in a bunch of the players.
Springs is a little too long for the segment, but we have time for Scott Barlow.
Scott Barlow, 75 appearances last year for the Cincinnati Reds. Got to the postseason. He is going to play a pivotal part in our bullpen. Here is the big right-hander.
Well, it's our first time talking to Scott Barlow here on A's Cast. How are you? And welcome to A's Camp.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm doing really good.
And it's our first look at the gold Sacramento jersey. We're seeing this for the first time. It's pretty slick.
It looks good. The writing's nice. Color contrast in the yellow is looking good.
So how's it been so far for you coming into this organization? Very promising. There's a lot of good guys. How you feeling?
Oh, it's been awesome. All the guys have been welcoming. Coaching staff's been super great. Camp's been, going super smooth, which is nice. But yeah, just having a lot of fun.
You had a heavy workload last year, 75 appearances. What is that like in the off season, knowing that you worked a lot and you want to be able to do the same thing again this year?
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. Is you go in the off season, take your breaks, and you rest while you can, and then get right back in the gym and on the mound as quick as you can, and then just wanting to do it again.
And people don't understand that doesn't count all the ups and downs, and sometimes you don't go in. It's almost basically looking at that you basically pitched in every other game. It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
It's wild, yeah. But yeah, like you said, like all the throws that you don't get to see necessarily on TV or anything like that. But I mean, I'm just someone that likes to throw a lot, and luckily it's been come to fruition that been able to do that. So just keep grinding and keep going.
In recent years, whether it was just Mero Petit or TJ McFarland, we had guys that went over 80 appearances, and there's just something about the satisfaction of being in the game so much and factoring so much in the games. You take a lot of pride in that, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, just Mero Petit was someone, even when I was first coming up, I looked up to the guy because he just, every time you looked at the games pitched leaderboard, he was always at the very, very top, and I was like, I want to be like that guy. So being able to take the ball kind of whenever, and put yourself in that position to where you feel good enough to help the team win that night. I just always take a lot of pride in that for sure.
What have you learned about this A's team that maybe you didn't know and now you've started to figure it out since you've come into camp?
I noticed they got good music selection in the clubhouse. They've got some good tunes going on most of the time, so I really enjoy that. But yeah, just still getting to know everybody, and can't wait to find out what other treats are waiting.
There's a lot of good young talent, right? Not only the arms, I know you've spent a lot of time with the arms so far, but when you look around, the good young talent, where you see offensively, there's a lot of sticks in there.
Oh yeah, because I remember coming to Sacramento last year with Cincinnati at the time, and it was like going through the gauntlet. I mean, it seemed like anything you showed them, they were on, and everything they put into play was hard contact. So being able to be on the same team and not have to deal with that will be nice. But just super excited to watch these guys hit the ball real hard.
What a run it was, and I think it's a great example for all teams, especially for a young team like the Athletics. Like, hey, this could be your year, because if you remember, you guys got swept in Sacramento with Cincinnati, and it was kind of like, all right, this is make or break after that. And after that team meeting, you guys got hot, and that led you to the postseason.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was at that time a good test for Cincinnati at the time. But I mean, you got to go through ups and downs throughout the season. Like, it's never going to be all ups, and being able to find ways to, come back after, even a series loss like that, and kind of show who you are the very next season or the next series, is a testament to, the clubhouse build for sure.
The Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, the first thing he'd be saying about you, I love the flow. I love the lettuce. What is it about the hair? You're coming out of the bullpen. You're ready to rock. You got it. Talk about the hair.
Oh. So I started really growing it out in 2018, I believe. And just let it ride really. And once you get past kind of some of the awkward stages of the length, it gets a lot easier for sure.
How long did it take to grow it out?
So usually I only cut it really once a year, and it'll get longer as the season goes, and at the end of the year, get it cut once and then do it all over.
So okay, you cut one time of the year, so this is like a special time. What time of the year is that?
Usually it's around either in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it's been the same lady that's been cutting it for the past 15 years or so, and
one time a year.
One time a year.
That's a special cut.
It's a special cut.
All right, we'll end on this. What's the coolest thing that you did or happened to you this off season that had nothing to do with baseball?
Well, my daughter was born in July, so I would
good
say
one.
it's
That's close.
And so I think being able to spend the off season with her has been the greatest one yet. So that's been really fun.
Your first or?
My first, yes, my first daughter.
Well, so it's your first off season with your first child. Mm-hmm. Life's changed for you at the house, hasn't it?
A little bit, but I've actually really enjoyed the routine that we've kind of built, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we heard that you were acquired by the Athletics, we went, oh yeah, somebody that's going to give you a lot of appearances, a lot of innings. This bullpen last year was the best bullpen in baseball the last 2 months in ERA. And it was like, hey, listen, all hands on deck. Anybody can close, anybody can set up, and it was a lot of fun to watch them succeed. You're going to fit right in. So stay healthy. Nice to meet you, and we look forward to having you on the show throughout the year.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was new A's reliever Scott Barlow, who joined Towny earlier this week in Mesa at spring training. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on A's Cast. Coming up next, you'll hear from Jeffrey Springs, Max Muncy, and A's center fielder Denzel Clarke right here on A's Cast Live.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more. The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
Baseball is back, and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snack. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today. The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, starting on February 22nd, and enjoy the sunshine with your family and friends. Grab your tickets early for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring. American League Rookie of the Year Nick Kurtz joined Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live to discuss his historic 2025 campaign and becoming the first Athletic to win the award since 2009.
Yeah, it was awesome. When it kind of got announced, we were all in Hawaii together. Willie was in the same room as me when we were on the show, so that was really cool to kind of celebrate, as a team.
When you look back, what do you think of when you look back in this Rookie of the Year season? You had the monstrous game in Houston, historic game. What are the things that you really reflected on?
Just kind of the whole year as a whole. When you look at any kind of season, you have, the parts where you feel really good at the plate. You have the days where you feel really bad. And then the majority is you're just trying to do what you can do that day to put the ball in play and get a base hit. It's not a good day if you don't get the team win as well. So that's kind of what I've reflected the most about is, yeah, I did all these great things, but it's got to lead to October. And that's the most important thing.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Streaming from A's Spring Training, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Do not forget, tomorrow, noon, A's Cast, A's Radio Network. You can hear the first spring training game. It is the White Sox and the Athletics. Big deal. Always the first game. A lot of people just want to hear baseball for the first time. We have one of the great announcers in all of the game, the San Francisco Bay Area Radio Hall of Famer, Ken Corach, along with the Sacramento Baseball Hall of Famer, Johnny Dasco, will be on the call at noon. So make sure you tune in. And then who is Sunday?
The Vote Coat and the Cleveland Guardians come to home.
Oh, and Steven Vote. Where are we? Is it Goodyear?
No, that game's here. Tomorrow's in.
They're in Goodyear, right?
You're the one that travels all the ballparks.
I want to say
the White Sox play Camelback Ranch, though, right? Don't they share with the Dodgers?
Who?
The White Sox.
Yes.
That's where we'll be tomorrow.
White Sox and the game's there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not here.
No, our first game's Sunday against Cleveland.
It's way out there, but it's a beautiful ballpark. Like when you're at the Dodgers and White Sox, it's almost like if they just extend it, it could be like a big league ballpark.
I thought weren't the Rangers surprise?
Rangers and Royals are surprise. The two Ohio teams share together, Cincinnati and Cleveland, and that's Goodyear. Road trip, that's Goodyear, right? Yeah, that.
Mariners are in Peoria.
If I have any questions, I go to Road Trip Mike, who's been to all the ballparks, of course.
Right, Mariners, Peoria?
Mariners, Padres, or Peoria. So 2 games this weekend. Then we'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific. We'll have
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Oh, got to get up early. 10 a.m. Pacific. We'll
that game is against the San Francisco Giants.
My guy Tony Vitello, the new manager for the Giants, is ruffling feathers early, and I like it.
Yeah, well,
there's a new sheriff in town.
He did so well. He went back and talked about it again the next day unprompted.
Yeah. We like him. And
yeah, he was great when we had him.
I hate the Giants, but I like this new guy. We got to meet him at the winter meetings, and he's got some spunk. It's either going to go it's one of those deals, like if you had to get into your crystal ball, it's either going to go really well or it's going to go south.
Well,
it's not going to be an even keeled road. It's going to either be really a great idea. I'm rooting for him because, for all of us ex-bad college baseball players, this having a guy go from college to the pros, that's not odd in the NFL or the NBA.
It hasn't worked out a lot in the NBA, but that's why I'm curious how it does in baseball. Brad Stevens, he won a championship as a executive now.
What was his title with the Celtics at the time?
He was the head coach. He was forever, and then he's like a
when they won the title, was he was the
Brad Stevens.
He was the executive vice president. He was the head of basketball.
Calls him he's the general manager.
Okay, he was the GM
and president of basketball ops.
His teams did well as a head coach.
Yeah, he was.
But he won a title.
Yeah, so then you got PJ Carlissimo was a guy that jumped from college.
I covered that. That didn't go very well.
The guy that's now the guy was in Nevada forever, Musselman.
Oh, with the Kings. So that did not go well.
And Warriors. God, there's a bunch of guys.
Bunch of Patino, Rick Pitino.
Our buddy Matt Steinmetz went through the list the other day. I was listening to his show, and
what's his name at Arkansas?
Oh, Calipari.
That didn't go so hot with the Nets.
Mike Montgomery didn't go well with the Warriors.
Didn't go well with the Warriors.
The NFL, Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, Barry Switzer right after Jimmy Johnson.
Do we count Pete Carroll? Or he was
of course. Pete Carroll's been NFL, college, NFL.
Our favorite head coach in the NFL, Jim Harbaugh.
No. You're missing somebody. They call him the genius.
Gruden? Oh, Bill Walsh?
God, you don't know that Bill Walsh's nickname's the genius?
Well, he did go to Stanford. Coach at Stanford.
Stanford.
Went to San Jose State.
First, he was in the NFL. He was with you probably don't even know
Cincinnati
this.
Bengals.
He was with the Bengals, the offensive coordinator for Paul Brown.
And then Steve Weiss took his job.
He was an older coach at Stanford, and then Eddie DeBartolo gave him a opportunity, and he ended up winning 3 Super Bowls, and he's considered arguably the greatest.
Sam Weiss, my bad.
Arguably the greatest head coach in the history of the National Football League. A lot of people will now kind of change that. But when it comes to running an organization, and he wrote the Bible on it, Bill Walsh was second to none. Truly the Hall of Famer. The San Jose State former football player and graduate, Bill Walsh. He is ours.
And then hockey, there really hasn't been many that have jumped and done well in the NHL. I don't think there's really been any.
Dick Vermeil.
Another good one, yeah. San Jose State.
So another great San Jose State Hall of Famer. So there have been guys that have gone from the NFL, have gone from college to the NFL and had success.
Bobby Wrinkles was Arizona State, and then did he manage the A's?
He did. It's a different deal, though. Like he ended up being a manager. I don't think he was like hired to be the manager. How that was kind of before our time. But I mean, this is like taking a successful college head coach and now making him a manager. How is that going to work?
He managed the California Angels and then us.
But he was
but he was at ASU prior.
Yeah, but was he hired to be?
It says as manager.
Yeah, I know, but
he didn't have a winning record as a manager in the major leagues.
So we'll see. Because let me tell you something. If it works, it's a copycat league. You may start seeing other guys from the bigger conferences, whether it's a SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12. Can't say Pac-12, but
they're coming back.
All right, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something that people start to look at.
We've seen college pitching coaches and hitting coaches join major league staffs. Never a college baseball coach take over as a manager.
So Tony Vitello is going to, it's either going to be a really, really good idea or it's going to go south. If it's a really good idea, it could change a lot of things, at least in the short term. And you might see some changes because, managers really in all sports, right? What have you done for me lately? I mean, guys get flipped real fast. So we will see. But back to A's baseball and part of our coverage of spring training, Valley of the Sun 2026. Make sure you come down. You're going to absolutely love it as it's starting to warm up here. And you see something's wrong with my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I don't hear me.
I'll check the. Well, anyway, I'm holding as you fix the mic. I'm holding up the hats. If you're watching the hats on.
This is my favorite hat. You see the cactus with the cleats hanging from the cactus.
These are all exclusive to just this ballpark.
Yeah, it's not like what you see with most spring training stuff that every team has that version of it. The cactus with the cleats hanging off, you're only going to get that here.
That's a collab that Joe Pun, who runs Hohokam, did with Manor here in Mesa. Then you have the Hohokam Hazy from 12 West Brewing, which I'm a big fan of.
My favorite shirt, Road Trip. Mike bought me this one. This is my favorite shirt. You'll be seeing this. We'll be wearing some of the spring training gear coming up here when you see us from my home studio. A's Cast Live, getting you ready. We'll be on 2 hours before every single game, Monday through Friday, starting Monday
at 10 a.m. Can you believe it's been a year pretty much since we've been in the studio, the remote road studio?
Last
time we did a show from there was for spring training last year because we did everything either in NBC or Sacramento last year.
It's a wild year. Lots changed. Lots changed. I mean, in 2020, the 60-game schedule. Have I told that story? I think I've told this story, to where Gavin Newsom didn't want anybody in the ballpark. Like, they wanted limited numbers. Totally understand, right? COVID, it's a pandemic. Everybody's freaking out. And I got a call going, hey, we're trying to limit the numbers. Are you cool with doing every game from your house? And you're like, I mean, I'll do it. So I was at my house. Cody was at his apartment. We had to build a studio in what is now Oakland Arena, but it was Oracle at the time. So we had a producer running the board, which is the game, the pre, the post, our show in Oracle. You at your apartment, my at my house, did all 60 games remote plus 2 playoff series. It was the White Sox and down at Dodger Stadium against the Astros. We never did a whole, I guess, that season, never saw one live baseball game.
Yeah, I remember that year we did all that. We had, at the time we had Ray Fosse on, we had Ken Carr, everyone's in different locations. We brought some, legends on. I remember the playoff series against the Dodgers. For some reason, my wife's family said we're all gonna get together and gather. And we went to Avila Beach down by Shell and Pismo, and did stuff from down there. We're doing a show from down there. So it was a really weird year.
We did maybe one of Joe Morgan's, the great Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players of all time. Joe Morgan, 2-time MVP. When we replayed the 72 World Series, we did the interview. We got Ray Fosse and Joe Morgan together. It was priceless. Those things we did with Ray Fosse, where we would have legends meet with Ray, whether Dusty Baker, Jim Palmer, Burt Blyleven, and I would just sit, I would introduce it and just sit back and let him talk. It was baseball magic. We were trying to give everybody the best possible content we could when people were, basically in their homes, had nothing to do. And those were some time, but Joe Morgan would pass not too long after that. He didn't do a lot of interviews. So we did one of Joe Morgan's last interviews right here on A's Cast. And of course, Joe being from Oakland and Joe playing for the Oakland A's at the very end of his career and telling us that he did not want to play. And he kind of just did it for his family. Like, he wanted to okay, I'll play at home. And, some interesting stories. God, Joe Morgan, truly one of the great players to have ever played in Major League Baseball. All right, which player are we going with right now?
Let's go Jeffrey Springs.
Jeffrey Springs, proud of him last year, right? Couldn't stay healthy in Tampa. Great talent. We got him. And you're just like, every time he took the ball, you went, please stay healthy. Please stay healthy. And he did. He did. He posted. You want to talk about a guy who posted? Here is the left-hander. Joins us here on A's Cast, and this is one of the interviews I've really been looking forward to doing this spring training, because when you reflect on a season like last year, when you came over from Tampa over to the Athletics, the big thing for you, can you stay healthy? Can you do a full season? You accomplished all those goals. What was it like this year, looking back and reflecting on 2025?
I think there was a lot to take away from 2025. I mean, the big thing, like you mentioned, I wanted to stack innings. I wanted to prove that, I could, take the ball for, the majority of the starts again, and prove that, to myself, but just, obviously to everyone else, because once you miss, significant time like that with TJ, it's, that's the big question that kind of lingers over you. And, besides that, going more in depth, a lot of ups and downs, especially early on in the season, just kind of got away from, I felt like, what I do, like what I need to do to have success, but I was able to go on a decent run, the second half, kind of the halfway point. So definitely a lot to take away, and there was a lot to kind of focus on this all season. Was able to clean up some things. I got in some bad habits, with arm path, coming back from TJ, just because you don't feel right that first year back. But being able to grind through some of those really bad outings and just not feeling the best at times. I was excited the work I was able to put in this offseason and kind of where I'm at coming in compared to last year. I feel like I'm in a much better spot to pitch to my expectations a lot better, not just go out there and put up innings, but put up quality innings now. So I'm excited to get going.
I mean, it says a lot, right? If you're better than where you were last year, that'll be huge. I mean, people need to realize there's not a lot of guys in our sport going 30-plus starts. You had 32 appearances. I really call them 32 starts because there was 2 openers. But you had 30 starts, 171 innings, I think is the exact number. I mean, that proved a lot
not only to everybody else, a lot to yourself, that you can get back to being the guy you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the goal is you see some of the best in the game are throwing, 180, pushing 200 innings, and that's what you shoot for. That's what you want to do, especially as a starter. We take a lot of pride in taking the ball every 5 days and being able to pitch, into the 6th, 7th inning every time. So I'm looking to just, build off of what I did last year, and then, just better quality outings, not, struggling for a month and a half or whatever it was. Eliminating the bad ones. They're going to happen. It is what it is, but being able to bounce back and be a lot more consistent than I was last year.
And sometimes it's the early part of the game. No rhyme or reason that there can be struggles. I know you had those struggles a little bit early. How much did you think about this offseason and changing that kind of outcome?
Definitely thought about it probably more than I should have, to be honest. But I don't think it was a huge fix other than just maybe pitch selection, the thought process in the first inning. And the stuff wasn't quite what I wanted it, what it used to be. So, I'm expecting to throw certain kind of pitches, metrically, certain fastballs, and it wasn't there. So I wasn't able to pivot off of that and, realize it sooner. But going into this offseason, like I said, I have a better idea of, from usages to just, I dove into, the numbers, why it was the way it was, and have a little bit better game plan going into this year.
So obviously first year of Sacramento, there was a lot of unknowns. How nice is it now heading into 2026?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the unknowns, there's a little bit uncomfortable kind of, things you have to adjust to and get used to. And the more comfortable I feel like we can be, as players, the better success you're going to have, that you're going to be able to perform better. And just as a group, I think us knowing how the ballpark plays, what to expect, it's going to help us tremendously just from the jump, just everybody, just having an idea of kind of what we're going into.
So when you showed up last year, these young kids were just trying to figure it out, right? Some of these guys had just a little bit of time in the big leagues. Some of these guys had never even been to the big leagues. Just walking around, and for us being here, it's day one. Just being for you coming in year two, what's the difference you see in the younger players and the confidence that these kids have?
I mean, you said it best. When you walk in, you can kind of sense it right away. It's not like, hoping to stick or, I'm just kind of like glad to be here, so to speak. It's like, no, there's real expectations.
Yeah.
We expect to win. We expect to win a lot of ball games. And that's kind of the only mindset we have. It's, okay, we did pretty good last year. It was better than the year before for them. But like now it's time to win and, compete for a playoff spot and hopefully play deep into October. Is kind of just the vibe. Nobody really needs to talk about it, or nobody's like saying things about it. It's just, hey, we did pretty good. We're gonna do our best not to lose, a long streak like we did that kind of kept us out of the postseason in July or whenever that was, where we lost all the games in a row. There's kind of like a quiet hunger amongst everybody to show people that, all right, we're ready to play.
Yeah, the bottom line, the atmosphere is different than when you first came here last year.
Absolutely. So there's an expectation. We, like I said, we had spurts where we were really good and, show people what we can do. Now that's the expectation, day in and day out.
All right, coolest thing you did this off season that has nothing to do with baseball?
Kind of a boring person.
You had to do something.
First thing that comes to mind, we had almost record-setting snow right before we came out here. So playing with my son, this will be the second time he's kind of seen snow, but
yeah,
we had almost a foot of snow. So that was fun. I think being able to see him run around and get out there. Now that he's 4 and a little bit older, really enjoyed playing in the snow for a whole weekend. Was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. People were experiencing cold weather and snow that they had never seen or it hadn't happened in years.
Yeah.
We're like sitting out here in California going, or we're in Arizona now, but for some of us who are back in California, it was like it's 70 degrees, 68, and you guys are dealing with like record cold.
Yeah, it was, normally they say we're going to get snow and ice, and it's like, okay, it'll be, maybe ice, but I think we got 11 inches of like real snow, which was kind of crazy, but it was cool to enjoy playing with him and, getting outside the weekend, and from snowballs to just kind of the whole thing was a lot of fun.
You spent years just thinking about being healthy, rehabbing, Last year, you were just able to pitch. And I know we talked about that. That was really big for you. But I'm really excited 2026 for you because now now you can really hone in on your craft and really get after it. So when I think of 30-plus starts and probably 180, maybe 200 innings, that excites me. It's got to really excite you.
I mean, that's the goal. Like I said, to make every start, to be pitching meaningful games in September, and hopefully push 180 plus innings of quality work. That's the goal for sure, and I'm excited to get going.
We always appreciate the time. We'll see you back in Sacramento.
Thank you.
Good stuff. What a year, huh? Like, you look at numbers, but the one thing that I looked at was it really was 32 starts because he had 2 openers because he had struggled a little bit with the early innings. But the fact that he basically had 32 starts, it says 30, but it was really 32 times he took the ball. I mean, Tampa was probably going, oh, man, I wish we had him back, right? If we knew he would have gone 32 starts. If Tampa knew he would have gone 32 starts, you think they make that trade?
No, because it was great. That's the thing about the Rays last year, too, and we talked about it a little bit during the season, is they flipped their script. They were one of the teams that led the league in innings. Well, they got rid of guys like Glasnow and Snell, guys who only pitched 5 innings, and they're building their starters up. So, yeah, they could have had a guy like Springs who would give them 30-plus starts. I think they would take him out of that instant.
How do you think they felt watching Jacob Lopez all of a sudden emerge? We just gave up those 2 guys?
And Boyle, in his defense, Joe Boyle was good his first few starts, and then the command issues came back.
He's just that's just who Joe Boyle's going to be.
He's going to throw 100, and he's going to strike guys out, but he's also going to walk a lot of guys.
He's going to throw the ball over the catcher, and you're going to be like, what? How did that happen?
It's like Rick Vaughn from Major League.
Good guy. I like smart guy. He's a good guy, Joe Boyle. He just can't throw strikes. If he ever does, he could be nasty. All right. Quickly, we're going to get to Denzel Clarke. This is our first interview that we do this spring. It's like 6:20 in the morning. Denzel wanted to get his stuff done early. So he was the first guy Monday morning that went through the car wash, and we got him like at 6:20 in the morning. It's early, and it's cold, and I really appreciate Denzel Clarke sticking around and doing this interview.
Clarke with us here on A's Cast. How are you? It's been a while since we've seen you.
It has been. I've been good, though. I'm coming from Toronto, escaping the cold and the snow and everything, so just happy to be out here.
So people don't think about that, right? When you live in a cold weather city, like, how do you go about staying in shape, still doing baseball stuff? Obviously, a lot has to be indoor, but it's just not as easy.
Yeah, definitely not. It's but growing up doing it, you kind of get adjusted to it. Just do everything indoors, throw, hit, do all my running around. So it's the adjustment's good. But whenever I get to come outside, you better believe it's pretty exciting. So
last year you had some unbelievable moments, and I think about in this off season, you go down to the MLB awards. Everybody's talking about your catches. Like, at what point this off season did you sit back and go, "Wow, there were some spectacular things that I did this past year"?
Yeah, I think it wasn't probably till I got home with my family. I was able to sit down and really reflect, because everything, as soon as I got called up, it was just going. So once I got home, sat with family, we were able to reflect a little bit. It was pretty cool.
Every single week we're asking you about play of the week. That was amazing.
It was nuts. It was definitely a good time.
So when I think about this offseason, the mindset for you, staying healthy and be able to play as many games as possible, what have you thought about that, about being on the field, staying healthy so you can contribute?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just getting a taste of the big leagues was great. Understanding the importance of what I need to do pre-game, my routine post-game, all that stuff, how much it matters going into it for the whole year. So thought a lot about that this offseason, got myself educated on it, so it's going to be good.
What did you work on skills-wise?
Just, again, you can only work on so much, but now that I'm exposed to the big leagues, I understand how refined things need to be, how much tighter things need to be hitting, how much focus there needs to be, base running, defensively, everything. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, how important is it to get that taste, to start to understand what it's like to be here and knowing what you need to do so you can stay here for a long time?
Yeah, it was, like you said, getting the taste was important because it really just sets it for the future. You get exposed to what the big leagues is like, and then from there it's just like, do I want this or not? And the work you decide to put into stay here and do well here. So
You look great in the uni, so I got to think putting it back on. What was it like today? Because today is the day that they're doing all the pictures and all the video that you'll see on the video boards at the games up in Sacramento and also the games that we will play in Vegas. What's it like putting the uni back on and getting ready to go?
It's fantastic. Just putting it on this morning. It was early, so I was maybe put it on half asleep, but it was good. Very excited to be back with the team and get this going.
All right, this offseason, what is the coolest thing that you did non-baseball?
Non-baseball, good question. I'm trying to think. I did a couple different things. I mean, like there were some weddings, had some friends visit, explored Toronto for the first time in a little bit, got to go to all the World Series games. So I wasn't playing, but I guess whatever. Then went to Atlanta for a little bit, hung out with some friends there. So honestly, it was a great offseason overall.
Well, we appreciate your time. I know it's early here at spring training. We were all early before the sun came out. This was the first guy. You were here at 6 a.m. And doing the whole, as we call the car wash here, doing all the photos and the videos. But, you know, expectation-wise, I mean, the highlight reel was unbelievable. It's like, just stay healthy and do you, and it'll be a great 2026.
Let's do it.
Appreciate you stopping by, A's Cast.
Thank you.
He's a freak. You can honestly say there is nobody like him in Major League Baseball. He is a man with like extreme athletic talents. He's got Olympic-like talents. Obviously, his mother was an Olympian in 1984 for Team Canada. He's one of one. And just the question is, can he stay healthy? And we talked to David Force yesterday. If you didn't see it, check out the A's YouTube channel. It's like when he goes to play for Team Canada and the WBC, it's like, put him in bubble wrap. Put him in bubble wrap. Please, just don't run into the wall because, you know, he's going to go all out for his country. But some of the catches that he made, whether it was what he did in Anaheim, what he did in Toronto, what he did in Sacramento, it's mind-blowing, this guy's ability to go get the baseball. And he's that one player, when he goes out there in the field, he makes everybody better because it's like the range he has when the ball's in the air, get out of the way. Remember Lawrence Butler talking about playing right field with him in center? It's just like you just get out of the way. This man is a gazelle. And you try to explain it. It's like he's a bigger version of Randy Moss. Like when you try to say, who is he like in baseball history? You've never seen a guy that tall, that size, that weight. Look how big he is next to me. He's a what's he like, 6'4"?
Yeah, something like, I think 6'4". Yeah, that sounds
and
right.
Runs like that and jumps like that. There really has never been anybody like him to have a guy that tall and his weight. He's over 220. He's a big man. His skill set is wild.
We'll be happy, though. Team Canada came back today against Finland, and they're now going to be in the Gold Cup game, gold medal game in men's hockey. Team USA winning 2-0 right now. So it could be USA-Canada again.
I was not happy yesterday because the old USA took down Team Canada in women's hockey.
That's right. Gold medal. Third time.
But we were favored in that game.
Well, we only give up one goal going into the entire Olympics.
We won't be favored.
In men's hockey? Whoa. Probably not.
No.
We have a good team, though. The good squad. I have faith. They're up right now against, I don't remember. Slovakia, I think.
My favorite is the biathlon.
We were talking about that yesterday.
I mean, that was what Eastern European warfare back in the day. That's what the assassins were like. Skis and shooting. And it's like I was watching the women, and it was like, man, they're sharpshooters who can ski really fast. That was how World War I, World War II, and different wars in Europe in the snow. I mean, that's how people fought.
Yeah.
And now it's an Olympic sport. These people are amazing, absolutely amazing. But Team USA, can't wait. If we have Canada once again against the United States in hockey, the rivalry is so good.
Yeah, last time I remember, vividly, 2010, Sidney Crosby scored the game winner against Team USA to win the golden goal. So
coming up next, I think a good chance he'll be the starting third baseman. He's blossoming in front of our eyes. Max Muncy next, right here on A's Cast Live.
Baseball is back, and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, Don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snack. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today.
Looking to stay up to date on all things A's? Head over to athletics.com/A'scast. That's athletics.com/A'scast to listen to A's baseball in full 24/7 coverage of the A's, only on A's Cast. With a single click, you can stream great shows, live pre- and post-game coverage, and of course, all the great action of the A's this season. Head to athletics.com/A'scast today.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas. Tyler Soderstrom joined Chris Townsend to talk about his breakout 2025 season, his new 7-year contract extension, and his commitment to the future of the Athletics.
There was some conversation right at the end of the season last year with what they were planning to come to us with. So we had a good idea. I knew that they were going to come to us with something in November, and, they came with their first offer. Everything is a negotiating process. So there was that whole process. My agent, Garrett Parcell, did a great job at Paragon Sports of, kind of let me and my wife and my family just kind of sit back and, let them kind of handle all of the whole process of it. And, we ended up coming to terms. So it was something that I wanted to do. I love this organization. I got drafted by them. My relationships that I've built, that's what's important to me. So I'm just excited, to be here for the long term. And, like I said, just super blessed.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'scast. Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 A's season tickets in Las Vegas for just $19.01, honoring the franchise's 1901 founding year. Join the list for early ticket opportunities and support youth baseball and softball in Southern Nevada. Visit athletics.com/Vegas.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
A's Cast Live continues from A's Spring Training. Here's Chris Townsend.
It's always fun to watch young guys grow up as we talk about Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, Jacob Wilson, Nick Kurtz. One of those guys also is Max Muncy. He's got a good chance to win the third base job. And boy, since we first interviewed him when he was a first-round pick, 18 years old, what he looked like then and what he looks like now, wow. He's blossoming right in front of our eyes. Here is, I want to say he's going to be our third baseman. Good chance. Here is Max Muncy.
Max Muncy with us here on A's Cast. How was the offseason and looking good in the whites?
Thank you. It's been great offseason, good training, and ready to be back.
So at what point are you like, all right, I've enjoyed my time, I've worked out enough, I'm ready for spring training?
I think a month before spring training you're ready, because obviously you want that time to advance yourself and work on the things you need to work on. But I think a month before you're like, all right, I'm ready to go, and I miss the guys, and I want to get back into it.
I think before you got hurt, you were really starting to figure it out. How tough was that to get hurt when you did? I know you battled like heck to get back, but how tough was that? Because the light was starting to go on for you.
Yeah, it's definitely tough for it to happen at that time. I'm honestly happy that it didn't happen before, though, because now I've seen what I can do. And, I had that stretch of like, all right, when I get hot, I'm still the guy that I think I am.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for the medical staff getting me back by the end of the year to play the last couple games. But, it's unfortunate, but, something that it's a new year, and I'm going to try as much as I can to stay on the field the whole year this year.
Third base right now is yours to win. And I think about staying on that side of the diamond. How big is that really moving from shortstop to third base versus what you're trying to do second and everything? basically coming into camp going, I'm here to be the third baseman?
Yeah, I think it's huge just because the amount of innings I have on that side of the field. Obviously, my experience plays over there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you go to second base, some of those hops and stuff aren't the same. So, pulling from memory on different plays, you can't do as much. Whereas third, I know the game on that side. I know how to read the bat, read the righties versus the lefties and that stuff. So it's just more familiarity.
Yeah, and I don't want to overplay this, but when you think about the chemistry that you have with Jacob Wilson, I mean, you guys have been playing high school baseball together. You've known each other for so long. Communication is key. Talk about how great the communication is for you guys in the infield.
Honestly, with me and him, at this point in our careers, there's not many words.
No.
Just because you kind of know. I know where he's at. Most of the time, obviously there was some time off. He's gained a little speed and gained a little strength, so I need to get used to that part of his game. But yeah, you know what? Like I know where he wants it. On certain plays, especially like a lefty shift at second base, that's the easiest one because I know where I'm trying to get it to him so he can turn it. So yeah, we don't have to talk about that much, really, but just to have him over there and be familiar is nice.
And McNeil comes in, the veteran guy. How much have you been able to talk with him yet?
So far, he's been great. I love being around him. He's been a great part of the team so far, and I'm excited to spend the rest of the year with him and really get down and get to know him better.
We've watched you grow offensively, especially with a little more power. What are the expectations for you offensively coming into 2026?
I think my expectations for myself are sky high, obviously. I always want to shoot high, and then if you fall short, still have it be a good year. One of the main things I'm trying to put the ball in play more. That's kind of what I worked on this offseason is putting the ball in play more, because when I do, I tend to do it for power. So if I can just consistently get the ball in the air and stay off the strikeouts, I think it'll be a significantly better year.
And kind of the offseason's got to be different for you, right? Because now you're a big leaguer versus all that time you're trying to get here. Now it's an offseason. Talk about that where you're working out because you're here.
Yeah, I think there's a different type of nervous. Obviously, there's still nerves going into the year, but there's less mystery. I've been to the big leagues now. I know what it's like. I know what it takes to stay there. So it's not as much confusion. It's more just, work. So I know how to get to work, and I know how to do this, and I know come spring what it's going to be like, and when you break camp with the team again, how that goes. So it's a little more comfortable in that aspect where it's not as much mystery.
Compared to when you're a first-round pick out of high school and you're showing up here nervous as hell?
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on. You don't know what pro ball's like.
Yeah.
I remember all the guys say, when you first get drafted, you always think that the team hates you. You're like, they hate me. They don't play me. They, send me to big league camp. I never play.
No one talks to you.
Yeah, you're like, the coaches are always mad at me. I don't know what's going on.
All right, I've been asking everybody, coolest thing that they did this offseason that wasn't baseball. We've already found out. You caught your first fish, and I'm shocked. You had not caught a fish before?
Nah. Baseball family. That's it. That's all we did.
You guys didn't do anything? You never went fishing at all? Even in Southern California, I grew up in Southern California. I caught a fish.
We went fishing a couple times. I just didn't get much.
So how was it catching the first fish?
It was great. Colby Thomas, I have a video. He was more excited than I was.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys that video. He's pumped up. But it was a big fish. It was like a flounder.
They put it on the Athletics Instagram account. And you went hunting, so that was the trip down there to Florida.
I actually went to see JT Ginn first. So it was basically like a see the A's guys trip.
Yeah.
So I flew from the fall league to Mississippi State, watched Mississippi State, Texas with JT. He showed me around.
Big football game.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
They acknowledged him on the field. He went out there.
Did he really?
Yeah, he gave a couple waves. So I did that with him. He showed me Mississippi State. And then I flew from there to Florida to see Colby. We fished, caught my first fish, woke up the next day, drove to Georgia, where he lives, and then we went hunting there. So I didn't shoot any deer, but I got to sit in the stand and hang out, which was good, honestly good enough for me. For the first time, I was a little nervous to shoot the deer, so I'm just glad that I got to be out there, do the early wake up, sit in the deer stand, feel it out, and then maybe next year we'll get a deer.
So you made it a point to I'm going to go see my teammates this off season.
Yeah, especially I went to some weddings, so I saw a lot of the guys there.
You guys have had a lot of weddings.
A lot of weddings. So I saw enough guys there, and then the guys that I didn't see, I went out and visited them. I wanted, I like to go see what other people's lives are like, or what they like to do. So I feel when you come back here, you're more together because you're a little closer. Now I know all about where JT went to college and all about where Colby lives and what he likes to do. So we just kind of get to know guys like that.
Expectations. There's going to be expectations leaving camp.
Yep.
tell us in that clubhouse right now, you guys think you're going to be better than what a lot of people think the Athletics are going to be this year. Tell us about the confidence and what the expectations are inside that clubhouse.
To make the playoffs. I think that's what everyone goes for, and I think if there's someone in there that doesn't say the same thing, I don't know if they're going to be a part of the group.
Because you guys think you're going to be good.
We think we're going to be good, and we think we're going to be good for a while. And I think it's literally just counting down until that year hits, and I think once we get that solid year, and that's going to be it, we're going to take off.
I can tell you, I remember doing your first interview at the Coliseum after you got drafted, and where you are now, I'm really happy for you. I think this is going to be a big year for you at third base, so let's go get it. It's going to be a lot of fun to see. Second year in Sacramento. You guys are also going to be a lot more comfortable.
Yep. Getting back to SAC, it was good for us last year, and kind of hitters learned to hit there. I think we just got to keep figuring it out and kind of make it our home, and I think we'll be fine.
Max Muncy right here on A's Cast.
When he walked by us the first time here in street clothes, you're like, little Max Muncy's grown up. He has grown up, and he has filled out. I want a senior vice president on the program. When can you get me one? Oh,
there he is.
Senior vice president of baseball operations.
Baseball operations, I'll take that.
I'm not business operations. Not baseball operations.
Well,
or are you running the franchise from a baseball standpoint
not me.
too?
There are way
Steve
more
Fanelli.
qualified people than me to do that. That's for sure. We don't want that.
Who are we drafting in the first round this year?
How many tickets are we going to sell is what you ask me.
All right. Where do you want to start first? You want to start here, Sacramento, or Vegas?
Let's start here. This is just like Disneyland, the greatest place on earth right now.
The field here is so remarkable. They don't really play that much on it. It's like perfect.
Yes, that is also not me. That's Chad, and he does, and his team does an amazing job with this ballpark and this field.
I know,
fun place to be.
I know you guys are very proud of this ballpark and the show that you put on here at spring training. Just talk about tickets are available. Yeah. This is one of the best home schedules we've had in a long time.
I mean, it starts this Sunday. We open at home against Cleveland, and weather's going to be great. I think it's 80 degrees. You know, you can't beat that. You're going to be out here in 80-degree weather watching the guys kick off a season, which should be one of the more memorable ones in recent history, hopefully for us. And this ballpark is great. It's a beautiful. The fan experience here is unlike any other, I think, in the Cactus League. We travel and see all the ballparks, and we get a chance to see how teams do it. What they do here, the team is invested in making sure that everyone has an amazing time. The accessibility to the players, the in-game programming, the ballpark itself, the shaded areas down the right and left field line for social spaces to hang out, the berm, it's all just a unique experience.
Food trucks, and one of the coolest things, too, is you have merchandise that you can only get here.
Exclusive at the ballpark merchandise. Hey, we took over the merchandise operation here last year ourselves for the first time, and it's not something we had a lot of experience doing, but Joe Punn, he does an amazing job with the design and the operations, and the team got together, and we put out some unique hats. One of them, which I'm wearing now, is the model. I'm not a great model with my white beard for a really good looking hat, but it's,
you are a senior VP.
The senior being, yes, I am senior, but seniors can wear these as well as young folks who look great in their awesome A's gear. He's going to have a couple versions of this one. There's one that represents the dirt for the infield. This one represents green grass for the outfield. The thing I learned today is everything on the logo is outlined, so it's what stays between the lines. It's kind of a little bit of a second level nature type of thing here he's got going on. But these hats are hot. He had a limited number of hats like this last year that sold out each game, and so we're going to do it again this year.
You even have your own beer that you can only get here.
Ho Hokum Hazy. Yes, that is going to be here again this year. It's the third year in a row.
How cool is that?
That is cool. Yes, the can's good. We have specialty water bottles for the premium areas with Path. So, you know, we're trying to make sure that when you come, you not only have a great time. Yep, Cody's got his Path water bottle. You have a great time, but you also can do it in A style.
Yeah, and the food trucks down the left field line are phenomenal. So a lot of things you will not see at any other spring training ballpark at the Cactus League. It's so unique here at the stadium. All right, we have 2 trips to Vegas. We're going in March. We're going in June.
In June, right?
Tickets are available, and I know in June we are going to blow it out.
Tickets for June are on sale now. There's a pre-sale now for 6-packs to the folks that put down a 1901 priority access deposit. That started this week. We had a certain number of seats held for that group. We anticipate selling through that quickly. We're going to probably pull that one off sale by Monday or Tuesday. So we give a chance for folks to buy single game tickets, but those games will hopefully be packed to the way it's trending right now, and it'll be great weather, and that Las Vegas ballpark is another fun ballpark. So it'll give us a chance to play in front of our future home crowd. And, by June, these guys hopefully will be a few games up in first place, and the excitement around the ball club itself will be fun, and it'll be good for us to spend a week in Vegas.
And the Rockies will be better. And Milwaukee, no question, had the best record in baseball last year, and they're still going to be really good. And you got a ton of giveaways in June in Vegas.
Oh, we'll have giveaways every day there. The highlight on the Sunday with the Nick Kurtz bobblehead. We're also going to have Nick Kurtz bobblehead giveaway in Sacramento. So Nick's got the 2 bobbleheads in 1 year thing going on already. So good for him. I think fans are going to love it.
He deserves it.
Yes,
he's going to be. I mean, the kid is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. It'll be a collector item for sure. And, we're going to celebrate Vegas when we're down there, and we're going to have a great promotional giveaway calendar in Sacramento as well. So there's a lot of cool things. Catherine and Vito and the rest of the marketing team did an outstanding job this year thinking about wearables and collectibles and everything that fans love when they come to the ballpark. And we have something almost every game.
Yeah, up in Sacramento, let's talk about the tickets in Sacramento. I mean, the schedule, when you talk about giveaways, more fireworks than we've ever done before. I mean, this is like a schedule on steroids for giveaway for the fans.
Yeah, the key promotion we have is the Sacramento Saturdays. So first one, it's a Sacramento jersey that we kick off the second game of the year, and there's actually a package on sale for Sacramento Saturdays. You can buy all 13 games, and each of those games has a special giveaway item. There's a bunch of bobbleheads up there. You're right, fireworks. It'll be a fun summer at the ballpark up there in Sacramento.
And we're bringing back the gold jerseys, and they say Sacramento, that was always a big hit. And we did an interview with Scott Barlow, and he had it on. First time we really saw it on a player.
Yeah.
It's like, it's slick.
I saw Law walking around with his on the other day, and it is the first chance I got to see it actually in use. And it's a cool looking jersey. Yeah, it's going to be fun out there to see them playing with that.
And one of the things I want to highlight, because we don't get you that often, is someone that's in control of the business, basically, of how much this means to you, how long you've been doing this for the Athletics, and how long you've been an A's fan even before you worked for the A's. This whole thing means a lot to you, to your family, to your kids, to your wife. It's a big part of who you are.
Yeah, I said this to our new president, Mark Bedane, recently. Like, I think if you cut the wrist there, you're going to see green instead of red come out, because it's just ingrained in my DNA. I was here since 1998 was my first season with the A's. And so to see the evolution and the transition of where we've gone and where we're going, it's, I'm getting towards the back end of my career, but I also feel
You're not even close. What are you talking about?
I feel like I've worked 50 years. I'm getting towards the back end of it, but to have the opportunity to continue to see this product grow here in Arizona, to help open and be contributor to what's going to be what I believe will be the best ballpark in the country. And it just changed the overall fan experience for the better. We're doing a lot of great things in Vegas. Where the premium packages in and of themselves will be just completely unique to baseball. The level of inclusiveness, food and beverage, and the location of premium seats to the field, and the types of suites that they've been designing. It's going to be something that people will come from all over the country to see and replicate. And we are the foundation of what will be the next wave of ballparks. I feel fortunate and blessed to be part of that in this organization. And I really, really, really couldn't think of a better way to just wind down the back nine of my career.
Well, I remember when they said, wait till you see the ballpark experience. You're like, okay, it's going to be cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you walk in, you go, oh my God. And you get in that cube and they start showing you the map of Vegas and how you're going to get there. And then all of a sudden you want to know what it's like to be in a suite? Boop. Because other ballpark experiences, whether we're talking about what they've done with the NFL or the NBA, they would actually build like kind of these generic suites and they'd put you, this is what it's going to feel like. You can press a button in this cube and it's like you're in the suite. It's technology no one has ever seen before.
Totally immersive. And you're right. Like the level of, we talked about premium in that ballpark, it is going to be a diverse level of premium. You'll have your classic suite. You're going to have amazing clubs, and there's a lot of them in that building. You're also going to have like your 4-person, 6-person, smaller type of premium products. How do you show a prospective fan and buyer what that is with a physical model? It would take, we'd have to be building them for days. So this immersive cube, we work with a company called Advent to help design that experience center, and they were working on this cube in China, and they brought this thing over, and we fired it up for the first time, and as a way to enhance that sales process. But it's turned into, people just want to be in there, and to see that building and to understand like, wow, this is how it's really going to look. And that team's done a wonderful job. The team that we're working with, Legends, to sell that has done a wonderful job telling that story of not only the ballpark, but the history of the franchise. And it's quite an asset for us. It's a fun place to be.
Not only for the sales aspect. When I first saw it, I thought you need to bring free agents here. Like free agents want to know what it's going to be like. I'm like, put a free agent in here, bring the free agent's wife, bring the kids and go, this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah. When Tyler did his signing, as well as Jacob, they did it there. They had a chance to go through the experience center, actually out to the site of where the ballpark will be. It is a great way to tell the story of where we're going as a franchise and what our product will be in the future. And look, we need to elevate to that market. We're located right there on the strip, like in Las Vegas. We're going to have 40+ million people coming to Vegas. It's our job to grow the game of baseball by exposing them to not only a wonderful product on the field, but a world-class ballpark. And I think as people are flying into Las Vegas for a weekend, even if their intentions are not to be there to see baseball, that building is going to be so spectacular. It's located in such an accessible area. And the fact that baseball has 81 games, it's going to give people an opportunity at an affordable rate to come to the ballpark and experience it. Hopefully, we're then creating lifelong fans, lifelong A's fans, lifelong fans for the game of baseball. That's our goal at the end of this.
It's the busiest intersection in the United States of America when it comes to foot traffic, the amount of people that are walking around there. It's just, it's an unbelievable location. And when you start looking at the ballpark being built right now, we talked to David Forrest about it, who continues to see it grow, but you're seeing it as much as anybody. So take us through your eyes, how fast it's coming up and what you're seeing.
We've waited a long time to see a new ballpark built and to see it move at this pace. And you really can't get that feel until you step onto the actual site and you see how massive it is and the amount of work that's being done by hundreds of people daily. It's super impressive. And the way that things are getting done at the speed it's getting done, it feels like 2028 opening day is going to be here in a blink.
I remember the groundbreaking and it was just dirt. And you're like, okay, I got the idea.
Yeah.
But then when Sodi signed and we all went out there and he's taking pictures
and
we're out there with his agents and it's Katse, it's Forrest, and we're all standing there at home plate. We were all like, oh my God. And it was Soderstrom's agents from Octagon that were blown away. And they're, what they're thinking. They're like, free agent sign here, right?
Yes.
And it was just, but it's just, it's hard to explain to people. I want to articulate, but it's hard to explain to people just when you're standing at home plate and you're looking at the MGM Grand in New York, and you're just like, I can't believe this.
The live webcam gives you you can see it happening in front of our eyes, and the speed that it's happening is incredible. And look, it's a beautiful, beautifully designed ballpark inside and out. And so I think we've had the benefit of seeing the evolution of buildings and being able to incorporate the best of everything. a group of us internally have visited arenas, ballparks, stadiums across the world in order to ensure that when this building opens, it has the best of everything. And to see those things now come to life and get to the doorstep of putting club seats on sale and moving to that next phase of bringing fans into this experience, it's a game changer. And I think we're going to have just a fun time over the next 24 months finishing this off.
All right. So if a fan is seeing this for the first time, how can they get involved? How can they reserve? Where do they go? How do they do it?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing you should do is athletics.com/Vegas. You can place a priority access deposit of $19.01. Once you put that down, our team is waiting and standing by to set up appointments for you through the summer months and beyond to pick out what product you want and to see what the ballpark will look like and to listen to that story of what we're building and see within the cube at some point, if you're in the sales center, how it's actually going to come to life. So yeah, if you're not already on that list, put yourself on that list. It's a nominal amount to raise your hand and say you're interested. Those that are on the list, the team is cultivating that list to make sure that they get an understanding of what product you will want in the future when that does go on sale. So we're starting with suites and we'll move to club seats and so on and so forth. But we're going to have a strong season ticket base there. And then typically season ticket bases are A's fans. And so there's going to be, it will be, because of baseball, we need to have a good, strong core of A's fans that are supporting that home team on a nightly basis. And we'll have products for single game buyers to come in at affordable rates and check out their game and cultivate the community as well as make it accessible. So like, we're going to have the best of everything because of the sheer number of games that we play in baseball and the way that this building is designed with high-end premium, wonderful third level seats that are, if you look at those third level seats, there could be as close to the field as any in baseball, the way that the building's built and constructed, 30,000 seats. It's going to be amazing.
Experiences galore here in Mesa, Sacramento, and Vegas. 2026. This is a special year. I know how big of a baseball fan you are, how big of an A's fan you are. Just how excited are you for this team?
I mean, we've gone in these waves over these years, and
Yes.
I've been through a number of them. In fact,
You've been through it all.
I took Jason Giambi through the cube and showed him, and just remembering when he got his 1,000th hit and being
Yeah.
there in diamond level watching it. Like, this is a special group, and to see them hopefully pull it all together here under the leadership of Kotz and bringing Bob back and everybody else. This is the time. This is it. We're gonna get some rings here now.
Well, the fan experience, a lot has to go what you're doing in your team. It's second to none.
Yeah, we have a good group, and we're going to continue to add to that to meet the demands of the market and the building. And I'm fortunate to work every day with people that I call family, and it's a little overwhelming, the amount of work that people have done to get us to this point. Amazing teammates and amazing group of people.
Well, you, my friend, you're doing a hell of a job. Your
Thanks,
team's doing a hell of a
Towny.
job.
So are you, buddy.
But you're doing a hell of a job.
So are you.
All right.
And you too, Cody.
Yeah, you too, Cody.
Thanks, Fanelli. I appreciate it. That's high praise from a senior vice president.
Oh, yeah, senior for sure.
And that is going to do it for our coverage here. 2026 spring training. We have baseball tomorrow. Ken Korak, Johnny Dasco on A's Cast, the A's Radio Network, starting at noon. Also, back here on Sunday, we'll have our first game at noon Pacific time. And then, of course, we'll be back Monday, 10 a.m., A's Cast Live, getting you ready for A's baseball 2 hours before first pitch, Monday through Friday. Cannot wait.
Let's go. Here we go. It starts now.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. For all of our shows that have been down here and everybody that came on. We thank all of our guests here at the Valley of the Sun. Baseball starts tomorrow, the 2026 campaign. We'll see everybody down here in Mesa, Arizona.
Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas. This has been a presentation of The Athletics.